Fueled by Deathcast.
You were the music supervisor on Sons of Anarchy, and now working on Mayans. Was it kind of like getting into your favorite pair of jeans again? Was it just a normal fit, or is it a completely different experience working on this show?
Well, it's actually both. You know, the familiarity part is that you're working with a lot of the same people, and the just the environment is familiar. You know, what's different is obviously the musical sensibility is going to be different. You know, Mayans has a different, DNA, if you want to call it that. Right. But it is still the biker culture. But whereas Sons were in Northern California, the Mayans are in Southern California, on the border. So whereas Sons, it was a white club. Mayans is a Hispanic Latino club. So the music has to reflect that, not just the source music, but the compositional music as well. The thematic, what I'm doing thematically is different. Although in the last episode of Mayans, there was a scene that the editors had temped in a piece of music that I had written for Sons of Anarchy. And it worked so well that I took the essence of the piece and then layered in some of the Mayan musical elements, tones, and textures that I've used. So it's this really kind of beautiful combination of the two,
Yeah.
And it's funnily enough, it didn't occur until the last episode. It wasn't like in episode 1 where I brought the musicality of Sons to the Mayans. It was actually in episode 10 where I found that sort of, where the two elements blended together.
And I was actually going to ask that question. Do you think that is going to happen more as the show progresses? Because even though these two camps really exist by themselves, it is the same universe. And musically speaking, do you think you're going to pull on anything that you were able to create from Sons for this? Like, you're going to do that more?
Well, your guess is as good as mine, really. you never know till you get there. But I imagine there will be some, some nods to the Sons, if for no other reason, and not to create a spoiler here. But, for those who didn't see Mayans, there is a twist at the end that brings the Sons, that actually brings Sam Crow back to the Mayans narrative.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that I've not read season 2 yet, but I'm sure that we're going to have to deal with, what's these opposing forces.
Yeah.
And the music would probably invite, those two elements, those two themes to come as one.
Oh, cool. And that kind of was another question I had was, what is the process like on a show like this? Like, you're on a break right now, and as this episode comes out, actually, you're going to be starting to working on season 2. Are you reading the next season basically along as they're starting to craft it, or are you waiting for them to shoot it before you actually start crafting music?
Well, yeah, I always get the script in advance, but maybe it's a week or 2 in advance. But really, and this is my method, I can't, I can't really create from the page. I have to create from picture. So that's why what I'm doing now, which is sorting through some possible ideas, themes, motifs, I won't know until I actually see picture and can lay picture against sound and music and say, well, that works, that doesn't work.